Hi there guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jake and here for another reaction, and today I'm reacting to Andor episode 9. Before I get into that, I've actually, it's only once I got everything set up and just as I was about to press record, I realised that I'm wearing a top with a picture of myself on it. So, just putting it out there. It's a thing. It's a photo of me with, well, there we go, my niece and my brother's dog, which is a pug, and he's called Toby. And yes, I just thought I'd get out there in case like I'm reacting and then people are just there like looking at the bottom and going, what's that? That's arrogant, big-headed motherfucker. Got a picture of him on his shirt. I do, and I also didn't get this printed. It was printed and given to me as a present from my brother and sister-in-law. So that's why. So just getting out there, that's that. Get over it. Okay, moving on to Andor. Last episode was thoroughly enjoyable. Got Andy Serkis up in this bitch. Got Andy Serkis. That alone is making me happy. We'll have to see how this goes. It looks like Andor's learning about teamwork here, which makes me feel like they're just getting bits and pieces just to getting him like to lead up to him joining the rebels. As for everyone else, Vel are still waiting to find Andor, looking at his mum who's not well. Bix is in trouble. She's been captured by the corporal woman who I said last week I should hate for what she was, but I don't know. I don't hate her enough just yet. I don't want her to succeed, but I don't hate her enough just yet. So I want to hate her. And I think I will. So yeah. We had Forrest Whitaker's Saw Gerrera turn up last week as well, and obviously him and Luthen were talking about Luthen wants them to join together as a team rather than be singular because that's how we win. And Saw was like, nah. So yeah, there's that, and yeah, just looking here, just everything. It was mainly about, I think, him working as a team. You had Cyril. I'm gonna laugh every time his name comes up. Cyril obviously get spoken to by corporal lady whose name I keep on fucking forgetting, and she told him to back off. But I'm gonna assume he will end up joining the team again at some point. That's just narratively how I think it will go. And what was the last one I just thought of there? Oh, and we had Mon and Tay. Still sort of trying to work together to get this this charity set up so they can fund the rebellion, and her husband, it just seems like a shithead who look, I feel like was going to ruin things. So I just dislike him more and more. So yeah, I think other than that, there's that. So that's from last week. One, I don't really I want to see where we go with Andor being in prison now. I'd say from this week, whether he's going to, if there'll be the plans for him to get broken out, or if there's a breakout plan by the team that he's with. I don't know, or if there's a rebel attack. I'm not too certain. But either way, that's why I'd want to see what goes from here, or if we could just stay there and just develop his story more. But I think that I don't think that is what's going to happen. But we'll see. So other than what I watched last week and what I want for this episode and this fucking top, I'm going to leave it there, guys. So I hope I enjoy this episode and I hope you enjoy this reaction. And if you do, drop a like. I just said like. Oh, I'm a mess. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel. But other than that, I'll see you on the other side.
Force just makes us think there's more to be learned.
Ooh.
Which leads to a longer session.
Ooh. Okay, I'm starting to dislike her again already.
We are.
That's it. Hold your tongue. That's it. Take the pain. It's coming your way.
You're in my net, and where it is gone.
You know what?
I don't know.
Things have changed very quickly for me.
The best thing you can do right now is bore me.
Alright, we need it dead now. We need this fucking bitch dead.
Believe me anyway, are you, Ghost?
Thank you.
As if he said thank you. You fucking... Ugh. Desperate to cause pain, bitch.
Use a proper nail. too, that's a threat.
Yeah, I told you this old man was going to be the fucking.
Short timer.
It's going to be the one that ruins it for them.
Early trials that were a bit chaotic.
You're creepy.
Hours later, huddled together in various states of emotional distress.
Oh shit! Fucked up. That's fucked up. He's literally going to play the screams of these dying species he's on about, and that those screams itself does something to someone's emotional state, like it breaks them a bit. Holy fuck! That is sadistic as hell. They've come up with some great ways in this series to like sort of to expand the Star Wars universe by simple things. Like, even I'm just forgetting them all now. But the whole meteor shower for the heist thing. You've now got this way here of torture. It's simple things. They just do it as they go along. They're creating ways to be like, this is different. This but it's not hugely sort of hugely triggering stuff for people like. Well, I'm going to see people to be like, well, in this universe you can't do that because of this. It's more sort of like simple things. So you're like, oh fuck, okay. And this is fucking genius. And this dude, he's playing this role. I think that if he was sinister, like just pure sinister, I'd be like, oh. But he's doing it with a smile on his face, like he's proud of it, and he actually kind of gets off on it. And I kind of like that. It's that sort of, I know I'm a shithead and I'm just going to embrace it. And I personally like those characters that are like that.
Believe of primarily children, which has its own.
Oh shit! Holy fuck! Oh, do I not get to hear it? Oh, you bastard! I'd love to hear this. Holy shit! Right, that transition was fucking amazing, by the way. That was so good. That there actually gave me fucking shivers. The whole just turning towards her eyes silently, her breathing, the fear and terror in her eyes. Oh, I'm still got the shivers. Oh my god. To then, yeah. To then, the screaming. Oh my god. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna carry on.
New man on the floor. Everyone hold positions.
What's he doing here, though? That's what I don't understand. What's his plan to just cut some pipes and shit?
I have a new idea.
When did they strike up this fucking friendship about escaping?
We attack all them.
Just talked about this.
Oh shit! He's getting either.
You think I don't want to win?
Is he getting
Am I
early
working
signs
or
of
not?
dementia?
One rack up. Hours to lose.
Oh shit! Fucking hell!
As you wish.
Ah, this. This woman, this human, this vessel of evil. It's taken 15 minutes for me to be like, I don't mind her. Like, I know I should hate her. To then be like, get gone. Get gone. Oh, you know what? Something like this is what it just reminds me of what I hate about politics. That sort of like, I see it all the time over here in Houses of Parliament. And they're just there talking, and then people just rah, 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 shouting, rah, jeering, booing, all this sort of shit. And I'm like, this person, especially when I talk about, when I'm sitting there and I'm seeing this person talk about food poverty or people who are being like hurt in migrant facilities or wars that are happening elsewhere that are like to do with where children are being fucking murdered, all that sort of, anything that's really realistically what the person's saying, they are trying to care about the world and the people in it. And then you have the people going rah, 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 like, and like they were there turning shit off, walking away, shouting, like it reminds me of politics is not for me, because I think I'd scrap people if they started doing that to me. If I was like children are starving and they're like, "Bro, who cares?" I think I actually would throw hands. So a lot of these people who are doing the good, doing it for the goodwill, and they are faced with shit like that, I commend them for not, for sticking to it, really. Oh shit, this is actually really fucking tense. What's going on?
Panicking about something that's happening on the other side of the building.
Fucking Andy, yes!
How many hands
Oh.
does it take for one word?
Aunt Belle's been to Cassian
Oh.
Andor. Look what she brought me.
Your father may have an opinion.
Excuse me?
Let me do anything I want.
What was I supposed to know this siblings or cousins or something? That wasn't mentioned. Was it? No, it wasn't. Well, things make sense.
Why don't you get tried on?
Wait, hold on. Actually, they might not even be related, thinking about it. Because oh my god, my eye. Because they could just be saying that as in, like, for a cover story. That is actually, might not be, but they could be. I don't know. I just didn't make that comparison.
Flap that mouth if it was any longer. You'll regret it.
Andy, the threats, they actually sound so real.
You want out of it.
What we say, nobody's listening.
He's not listening right now, Andor.
How many guards on each?
I'm not listening. Hold on, no, that's not my good golem for now. I'm not listening. I'm not listening.
Not listening. I'm not listening.
Just did it. Done. Bam. I'm so annoyed that it took me that long to fucking do that quote. Sorry, guys.
We're on her full time.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Can't believe it liked you at one point.
You're kidding. They don't know about it.
Tell them then, quickly. What?
Speak down. We will have the
Shit.
immediate
Is this change Andy's mindset now?
What happened on to?
Another shift. So let's keep our
Yeah, this is up there. This is fucking with you. I was living in happiness, just blissful ignorance, maybe, that I wouldn't see this bitch again. As in Cyril. I'm calling Cyril the bitch. His mum's a bit messed up, but she hasn't done anything to you yet for me to be like, oh, you're a bitch. And now I'm here, and now I'm just looking at Cyril. I don't know why. I really don't get why I find just the name Cyril and him. So just standing there, being called Cyril, so funny. Oh, Cyril, that's horrible. Stop it.
Wasn't here now to pick up the pieces.
Well, he's deteriorated so quickly. Well, don't know if it's days, could be weeks for all we know.
You need a widower at this point. Who's left of any value at your age?
Yes. All the good ones are taken.
Am I? Oh, it's like this. Okay. I've made it very clear. I don't like this fella. But why is he so irredeemable? Like, why is he saying that to his sister-in-law? It's. You know what? My probably reaction through most of these things is just going to be literally me reacting, but sometimes without words. It's just me so flabbergasted that, this douche.
We're fighting against the dark.
That's it, Val.
We're making something.
Cyril, you need to fuck off.
Come some toes to see if I'll see you.
I am an
Cyril, this is fucked up. I'm really confused.
Do you have any idea how much? And I swear I'll have you in a cage on the outer rim.
I'm confused with. I'm not too certain what his motive is there. Is he saying that he wants to be part of the team that tracks down Cassian Andor, or is that him wanting to bump uglies where, as in, like, let's make babies whilst thinking about our hate for Cassian Andor? I'm a bit confused by that. And I want them both in that fucking cage in the outer rim. preferably in separate cages because I don't. Cyril's creepy. Cyril was always kind of creepy, but this was creepy. Is it me, or has her face changed as well? Her face, the faces she's pulled. Is the faces she's pulling? Have they gotten more imperial since the start of this episode? I can't work out whether I just dislike her so much now that the faces she pulled before that I just forgave for what they were. And now I'm just like, oh, that's so imperial. You bitch. Oh.
Davos Calden.
Oh, who's Davos Golden?
He's a thug.
Oh, that's why.
Don't tell me you've spoken to him.
Leave no trace. Excellent work. I want a meeting with military intelligence immediately.
These fucks have literally they've just staged a whole hoax. It's done this so quickly. They did it so quick. They went from being, we can't let them know. Okay, let's do this. Let's get them thinking that the attack's gonna happen so that we can catch them in the act. These poor rebels. Motherfucker, are you okay making that noise out there? That guy's using a fucking leaf blower when there's only 20 leaves on the floor. Oh shit, it gets done right in front of them. That's fucked up.
I need a bag and a trolley.
It's coming.
Oh, they already had that fucking bag and trolley come in. That's fucked up.
Pass, peace.
R.I.P. you love. This is the turning point for him.
Word got out on the floor and then they killed them all.
You need those other men there.
Why?
If it was relief.
Let's go.
That's it. They're planning the heist now. It's happening. Tell them.
Never more than 12.
Yes! Is that it? Is this the end of the episode? Yes, that's the end of the episode. Oh, yes! That's it, Andy. Woo! And that, guys, was my reaction to Andor episode 9. I'm really enjoying this fucking show. It's so well done in what it's wanting to achieve, which is it's basically not making it a full-on Star Wars battle through space and like, yeah, it's smaller, and that's what it's meant to be. And they're just taking their time with dealing with characters and like immersing you in what makes the Empire and the Imperialists so shitty. And rather than just be like, here's Darth Vader and here's the Emperor and they are the epitome of evil, they're showing the inner workings of everyone that contribute to the evil doings, and that's and then showing the everyday folk more ground level dealing with occupation, and it's just so I thoroughly enjoy the show. I think I saw that not as many people are watching the show because it's not necessarily a big figure, as in it's not Obi-Wan or Boba Fett. It's to do with Cassian Andor, so which is a film, who came from the film Rogue One, which was post, obviously the original trilogy and prequels. So it's part of a new generation of people. So I understand that people aren't really watching as much, but they should be. It's really well done, and it's just making me emote a lot more than I expected. You know, like to go, like I said, from the start to hating your woman. You know what? I'm gonna find out her fucking name because I just keep on calling her your woman. Okay, so I found her name. Her name is Dedra Meero. I've known Meero is a name. I completely forgot. It never registered. I think with those, it's really bad that with the Empire, I tend not to care enough to know the names. So yeah, so that's what I think what's happened is I've been sort of like, I've just taken it as face value. This is her. And I think that I'd say before this episode, if I knew her name, I'd be calling her Dedra because I didn't mind her. I was sort of, in a weird way, somewhat rooting for her. But now she's Meero. She's Meero, and she's got to go. But I'll go through the notes here. So, So yeah, so the whole thing with Bix's torture, that there was, I just want to talk about that bit there. That opening with Meero and talking to Bix, it was so tense. It was so claustrophobic. This show is so well directed in the sense that throughout that, I felt uncomfortable while she was walking around. I felt her, and just the actress as well. She did so well to come across as very efficient and menacing, not as creepy, not as angry, but as in, I will get to the bottom of this one way or another. I'm not going to raise my voice. I'm not going to get emotive about this. I have the means of finding these out. I'd just rather easier, but I can make it harder. And it's just so off-putting. As I was just like, oh yeah. It was so that scene was so great between the two of them, and it was mainly Meero talking. But then obviously they brought in it's weird how shit. One thing I thought, they got Dr. Grost, I think his name was. And it's weird I remember his name, but I remember it because I nearly called him Dr. Ghost. I'm very sure it's Dr. Grost. Or Gost, one of them. Yeah, and I like how certain shows have certain characters. And one show that always happens for me was 24. Now, I used to watch 24 years ago when it came out, and it was fucking, at the time, it's fantastic. Imagine going back on it now, I'd probably find a lot of things wrong with it, but at the time, as a teen, I was like, this show's insane. But they had specific characters that filled specific roles, and they always had the guy that, if they needed interrogation done, I cannot remember his name for the life of me, but they'd be like, let's say his name's Maxwell, they'd be like, get Maxwell in here. And then Maxwell would come in and like, Maxwell will be able to get this out of you. And then Maxwell's just there, just torturing the shit out of people. And that was it. That was it. It was like, that was his job. They called him in, they did it, and he was able to extract information, or he couldn't. And that's what's fucked up. Is that they were like, get him in here. And he just did it for multiple seasons and faced no war crimes. Yeah, and that's what that guy Ghost was, sorry. He was just like, I have a very particular set of skills, and you will fucking talk. And him as an actor did so well with just, he's obviously got to, he went off to interrogate this rebel pilot in the end, but we don't see him, and we might see him again, but we don't see him after that. And for that small period, he dominated the screen with his ability to throw out the fact that he's torturing someone with not menacing glee, as in like he's like I'm like he's the Joker. He's really gonna enjoy this, and he's not doing it as in like, I do this every day, does it bother me, or anything like that. What it is, he's just gone into it, just saying he's appreciating how fucked up this is, and the studies, and it's just, he's doing it with a wee smile, where it's not manic. It's like, yeah, I don't know if it's to put this. He just almost can't believe that he's got this job. Like, he's just sort of astounded that he was able to be a part of this, and that he still can torture people with this unique way. And it was just so well done. So congrats to that bloke. He did so well with it. And then Bix's turn to, like, her in that chair being, just having things direct at her. She wasn't really doing much. It was more those two. It was Meero and it was Ghost. Or I'm just going to call him Ghost, right? Doctor. I'll call him Doctor. Meero and the Doctor. They were holding those scenes. And then she then had that moment where the helmet was on, and it was a mixture between her, but also then the editing where they didn't have the music built up, and then it was silent. It was deadly silent from, like, as in a non-diegetic sound wasn't put in. Yeah, I think it's non-diegetic. Anyway, there was no music at all. It was just the heavy breathing and the movement of the camera. Everything works so well there. So the lack of like music and that built up to suspense, that built up to then it just went. It's in the camera moving into it. Then we just got a full-on focus of her eyes and the heavy breathing. You could then just see her reacting to that sound. Now, I would love to hear that sound, what they would choose to do it. But at the same time, the fact I didn't just made that so much more impactful that I got shivers then, and just thinking about it now, I've got shivers again. What a scene that was. Just that little moment. And it just not being able to hear it just made it even more horrendous. Like the idea of what it could be. It was correct. What a scene. What a way of torture. The fact is he just threw in there, we think it might be children. And it's like, fucking hell. What a scene moment. Obviously then I don't think she gave him up. She might have given stuff up, but she hasn't given up what he looks like, because they said that she's the only one that could identify Luthen. So we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah. I'm just having a look here. I'll now talk about the whole thing with Mon and Tay. Obviously, listen, she's having to deal with these Senate pricks who, like I said, is just sort of like hail the Empire, all that, and it's like, oh, you fucking bastards, isn't it? And it's just sort of like, but then you just know she's enduring it because she has to endure it, because she's trying another way, because her way isn't working. And that's what we obviously appreciate about this character. I think she's a great character. I think that she surrounded herself with absolute wanks, including her fucking husband. It's like the whole thing, and then obviously then we find out that Vel is her fucking sister, and that obviously they're both part of it now, and she's worried about her, and it's nice. It's giving her more to this characters that we know now that Vel is actually a rich person who grew up and just like her sister hates what they've done and wants to change, and they're both doing it on different fronts. Vel's the fighter and the one that's part of it, and then you have Mon, who's doing it on the other side, where she's hiding in plain sight. She's the one pulling helping to pull the strings, so then that Vel and her team can do the things that they can do. So yeah, that was that was great. I didn't expect it, but now it makes sense, and it's great. I love the fact that they're doing it this way. Having a fucking Perrin say stuff like, all the good men are gone, you're getting a bit too old. Bearing in mind, that's not what she's into from what we can understand. So far it looks like she's so far she's just been interested in one woman. She could be interested in men. She could be interested in all things. Cross species, who knows. But as it stands, it looks like she's not into that, into dudes. And the fact is that not only does he not know that, which goes to show that he doesn't know shit about anything, but also to say that, what Perrin just keeps on just going up that little bit more with the comments here and there. I'm just like, you're actually the fucking worst. Oh, what a douche. But then obviously she now has to go up against a thug who's going to help get that money together and put it through. It's going to be... Here's my problem, is that it makes sense what they have to do, and I think it will happen. But the problem is, I think that Perrin will realise that this is going against all she stands for, or daughter, or both of them will, and then it's like, something's going on here. What's going on here? And I don't know whether it'll be like oh, you're cool now, yay, or it'll be like why are you doing this? And then there's going to be, I'm keeping a fucking eye on you now. So yeah. That's worrying, but if it's gonna have to happen, great. It's gonna have to happen. She has to act like more of a politician now, I guess. But at least we have Mon and Tay there to get us through this. Now, onto the prison. Ulaf, I said it in last episode, is he the one that's gonna start affecting their time and stuff like that. And I thought that it was going to get to the point where they're like, we're going to have to sacrifice him as for the team. But they actually cared. And the fact is that they were trying their best to hide him from people. It was just that threw me off. And I thought that's what they might do when I was watching this at the start of the episode. I thought they might have to they might end up like sort of like throwing him to the wolves, but they didn't. And it was more that they were willing to take the shit, and they all stepped up to be able to not be first but to also make sure they don't come in last. Also, if Yulaf was like that on their team and they still didn't come last, you would have to think what's going on that other table. The efficiency on that other table must be shite. So, from an Imperial perspective, I'd be watching those fucks. But yeah, but the whole thing, like, it was weird. We couldn't really necessarily. I like how they bring certain things in from our world into this world, and I was just generally shocked by the stroke. I thought they might have been like he's had a blorgan, and they just basically described what that is. So we're like, oh, it's a stroke to us, so we know it's a stroke, but it's called a blorgan in this world. But instead they were like, he's had a stroke, and it's like, oh, that's carried over. I was like, okay. Yeah, I just was a little bit shocked by that. I just wanted to say that before I forget. But yeah, so the whole thing with obviously Cassian trying to cut the pipe in where the toilet is. He's there at the fucking panel. He's made a friendship with someone else who's trying to work out how they escape. But obviously now, like, you know, the group's gonna grow. Not all of them are escaping, and it would seem like, unless something happens, it would seem like they're on their own for this escape. It would seem that way. So unless somehow a message gets to Luthen or Vel that this is where Cassian is, and that's where then they're able to help him escape, well, you know, we'll have to see. But it looks like they're going to have to do it themselves. So good luck to them. Yeah, also, I was a bit sure, like, I'm not too certain how long this stroke lasted, but it looked like he was forgetting things. He didn't know where he was, so I put down dementia, possibly. But obviously, I'm trying my best not to have my face out there, just whilst I'm talking, but it's there. Yeah, so yeah, I thought that. So I'm not too certain. Like, maybe it was he was leading up to a stroke, but it would seem to be happening over time, you know. It wasn't just, it was on that day. He was pretty bad on that day, but he was in a different way leading up to that. So he's just, I guess he's just an old man, and his time was done. Yeah, the whole thing with yeah, and obviously the transformation of Andy Serkis' character. Again, I should know his name as well. Hold on. Kino Loy. There you go. So he said it obviously, but I think at the time when he first said his name, I was just too ecstatic to see that it's Andy Serkis. So since then it's like that. So Kino Loy. So having his transformation from it being, I'm not telling you shit. I have no intention to get out. I'm just here to serve my time. Then I'm fucking off. To then find, obviously level 2 is what fucks with him as well, because everyone else is reacting that way. He's gone from being like, stop panicking, like, right, it's a rumor, we'll find out. Then obviously what happened to Yulaf, and he's asked the doctor, finding out what happened to then being like, we're never getting out of it. That total sort of like I was just trying to put my head down to get the fuck out, but now that's not happening, so I'd rather die trying to escape in here. And that's what Cassian needed. He needed a man with information and some power to be able to sort something out. And I like how Cassian was saying as well, they're not listening. What makes you think they're listening? They're too arrogant to be listening. We're just numbers to them. So they get the likes of him to be able to ones to shut down shit that early, as in like Kino? I was going to call him Kino. Yeah, Kino. Yeah. Yeah, so they get people like Kino there to do the middle work, so they don't have to fucking pay people to do it. But they put the fear of God into them, so that they can then, you know, get the other people in line to stop any form of rebellion starting. So yeah, so it's good to have them on the side. But the whole thing with level 2 was fucked up. It's like they fried it completely. That's messed up. And the thing is, they're going to do that, and then they're like, right, let's get in another. How many tables are there? Is it 10 tables? Was it 8 tables? No. 7 people to a table, isn't it? And there's 10 tables. That makes it 70 people. So there's up to 70 people dead. Something like that. Yeah, that's fucked up. that is messed up to be able to get rid of that people and then be like, right, the next shipment bring another 80. We're gonna get them up to scratch. But the problem is though, is that there's going to be no one there that's efficient in that room, so everyone's going to be bumbling all over everything. It's going to be a slow process. It's going to delay them quite a bit. Silly bastards. That you know, capitalism, imperialism. Woo! Okay. I also wrote down there things I wanted to do that I didn't really notice was they put down Marva, his mother, as bait, which is not happening to me. Cyril's a fucking creep. I can't work out if he's creepy in a sexy sense, not a sexy sense, sorry, a non-sexy sense, or if he's being creepy in a sense of a work sense. I can't work it out with him. The actor's pretty good at playing what he's doing. He was I believe that he was there sort of like, I really appreciate what you fucking done for me. I love you. That sort of thing. Like, I like, and the tears were nearly in his eyes, and it was just like, I get the actor's what he's doing. But firstly, Cyril, the name. I'm gonna say this every fucking week. They could have picked a better name for this character, Cyril. I can't even remember what I was gonna say as well. I just remembered his name was Cyril again. But yeah, it was a perfect name for a character that is that desperate for work and love and appreciation and sense of meaning. It's what a gobshite. Yeah, just go to my notes again. Yeah, the whole thing with them staging the accident, to do with the rebel pilots. You know, they have to move quickly. They have to, like, you hear and see about these things that happen in all sort of like, I'd say, yeah, it's crisis time. It's like, it doesn't have to just, it could be a workplace like this is. It can also be a government. It can be anything like that. It's just that quick thinking, and it was like, how do we able to get them to think that everything is fine so they can go ahead with the plan so we can capture them? So in the middle of their plan, rather than, so that way then we can get them and, like, you know, like, smoke them out, you know, get the source here, so then that will then deters anyone else from trying to do it. It'll stop them from what they're doing, but then we get the culprits, which means that we can then torture them with the screaming children, and then find out where they are. So yeah, that was fucked. That was very quick. That was quite, I wouldn't say proud, but I was like, oh, okay, you guys were very fucking quick. Your man, the lads was barely in the room, probably 30 seconds, and there was a plan already made, and then they were out. So yeah. And then last bit, obviously, it was like Kaino. Oh, sorry, I've dropped the pencil. I could just leave the pencil, but once I drop it, I have to retrieve it. It winds me up because it's a black pencil on a black floor. I'll lose it and I'll step on it, or it'll break and I'll wind me up. But yeah, obviously then with Yulaf dying and Kaino finding out about everything. And literally, it was just like, how many people? I like how Cassian knew this was the perfect time to use it to get this out of him. I'm going to get this info out of him now. How pissed off are you? And he just gave over straight away. So that's it. We're pulling a team together. That's what we're doing. And I can't wait. I cannot wait. I think that if we're looking at Prison Break, it won't be next episode. It will be the build up of sorting out next episode, and then the episode will be after that. That's what I think. But yeah, so far everything's on its way. The wheels are in motion. I'm hating the right people. I'm loving the right people. The music, the sound, the effects that they've used, because they don't need to use that much effects just for these episodes. It is they're using just maybe a green screen outside the window of like the city. Otherwise, everything in so far has been, it's just practical effects or people, and and building the sets as well. The sets look amazing. It just looks so good, and it feels so good. The directing so good, the acting, everything. I'm truly happy with this show and how it started. It started off for me, it was like, yeah, this is good, it's so, and now I'm looking forward to it every week, and I can't wait, and it's just improving constantly. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it there, guys, on that high praise. That's high praise. So, yeah, if you liked the video, please like the video. Comment down below. What do you think of this episode? What do you think of... I don't know. I'd say, yeah, is Perrin pissing you off? Who's annoying you the most, basically? I'd say he's pissing you off the most. Did you have that moment where you didn't mind too much Meero? And then that torture scene, that's when you transition. Did you have that as well? And what did you think of the torture itself? But but overall, let me know what you thought of the episode. If you like these types of videos, please subscribe to the channel. There's a bunch of other videos around here that to do with me and other people reacting to stuff. If you hit the notification bell, you can get notification every time I upload. But there you go. But other than that, guys, I'll see you out there.